Good afternoon, grade 7. How are you? Our lesson today is about inequalities and their graphs. Now, what are inequalities? They are, let's say, the opposite of equations. Now, how do you know that we have an equation in front of you? Are seeing an equation actually when you have the equal sign? How do you know that you have an inequality when you have this sign? Okay? Or the opposite one, which is less than. So when you are comparing between two let's say two items, two statements that comparing and they are not equal, you will say that you have an inequality. And actually this is how we graph an inequality. Now at the end of this lesson, you will be able to to write and graph simple inequalities with one variable. We are talking about only one inequality and one variable. With it, we will, we will graph it. And this is why we have only the x-axis, not the x and y axis, because we are not looking to find out an equality which have two variables, x and y. No, they are only simple inequalities that have only one variable, which is x. What's a good definition for inequality? Actually, it's a statement that two expressions are not equal. I have an right expression and left in expression, right to the right of the unequal sign, and to the left of it, and they are not equal. We compare between them. Terms you see and need to know to graph inequalities correctly are actually these two signs, which tells you that we have an inequality, the less than or the greater than or more than. And actually, look here, I will use this arrow, I will use this, open circles. Okay, and you will see it sometimes open, sometimes it's solid or closed in, it's filled. Okay, circle or solid circles, we will explain what does it mean or what do they both mean actually. Now, but you will see this is the graph. Actually, this is to graph the inequality on the x-axis. Now, if you look now, when you have solid circle, okay, it means that you will see in the inequality this sign, less than or equal to. So if you see this graph, if you see this graph, an arrow with an end circle which is solid, which is filled, you will notice that what you will see in your inequality is less than or equal. Okay, if you see this graph, which is an arrow with a filled or solid circle, it's filled, it's not open circle, it's a closed circle, you will you will see that your inequality will have an equal sign. So it will be less than or greater than with an equal sign. This here, it means equal to. It means that the value that's the circle on it, it's included in the inequality. It makes the inequality true or correct. Okay? Now, let's work a few together for understanding more the meaning of inequalities. Now, when I say x is more than 3, I say that x is any value, okay? This is all is an inequality. Okay, this inequality tells you that all of the values here on this on this line is more than x. Okay, so I'm looking for a values. I will graph them on my line, on the line here on the x-axis here, that they must be more than 3. How can I graph this inequality? Okay, now I graph it actually, because actually solution for an inequality, it's not only one number like solution for equations. In equations, if you want to solve equations, you will find the value that is exactly equal to x, which makes my, my equation correct. I will say finally in solving equations, I will say x equals. So I don't have other values than x, which makes my equation correct. In inequality, I have more than one value that makes my inequality correct. Actually here, if I want to graph it, I will looking for number 3. Since here my inequality is more than 3, I will put number 3. And if x is more than 3, so I'm looking to the numbers that are greater than 3, which are to the right of 3. Because in number line in the x-axis, as you are going to the right, it means that it's more than, okay? As you are going to the left, you are talking about values that are less than 3, which are 2 and 1.5 and 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, etc. Okay, when variable is on left side, sign shows direction of solution. Exactly. Now here, look. Here I'm talking about variables that are more than 3. So I will put my circle on 3, but it's open. Why? Because there is no equal sign here. So I will put my circle, which is open circle, not colored circle, on 3. Then I will draw an arrow that tells me that all of the number above 3 is a solution for my inequality. I have many solutions for my inequality. Okay, now if I say x is less than 7, I will sign 7, okay, on the number line, and I will say that all of the numbers, I will put an arrow with an open circle on 7 exactly, and I will put my arrow to the left to say that all of the number that are less than 7 are solutions actually for my inequality. Okay, now when my variable, which is x to the left side, I will, this shows the direction of the solution. It's going to the left, right? Now, if I have an inequality with less than and equal to, okay, P is less than and equal to -2, and I want to graph the solution of this inequality, because inequalities, again, I will repeat it, the solution is not one number, it's more than one number. So to find out the solution, I have to graph. I cannot solve it using, numbers. No, here I have to graph the solution to use the x-axis. So I will sign -2, and I will say that the solution are the numbers, all of the numbers that are less than or equal to -2. How can I tell that -2 is included in the solution? By putting solid or filled circle. Okay, this is why I color the circle, okay, and I put all of the numbers less than -2, because always to the right of the number are the numbers that are more than. To the left of the number that I have it -2, I have numbers that are less than -2. When a variable that on left side sign shows direction of solution. Look here, miss, x is more than or equal to 8. So 8 is one of the solutions, right? 8, when I put here instead of x, I substitute or plug in 8, it will be 8 is more than or equal to 8, which is correct, because actually I have equal sign here. So to graph it, to show it, I should put a circle which is solid circle or filled in circle or colored circle at 8 and look for numbers that are less than 8. So they should be to the right or to the left, of course to the left of number, to the right of number 8, because they are more than 8. If I have more than 8, I'm talking about numbers to the right of number 8. Because if I look at this number line, okay, the x-axis, here I have 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. And here I have 8, then 7, then 6, then 5, 4, etc. Okay, now what do you think? How can I graph x when it's more than 12? Okay, I will use the number line, and I will put a circle which is not filled, right? And then I will put the arrow to the right, because I'm talking about numbers that are more than 12. Now let's go to the book and start solving, since we have an idea about the meaning of inequalities and how to graph them, and the meaning of equal or less, and more and or less. So let's go to the book and start solving problems about